What is the craziest thing you've ever done that you don't regret? 6 months after my son died, my best friend set me up on a blind date. Her logic was that having a loving partner with my grief. I was too exhausted to explain to her that's not how grief works. I arrived at the restaurant 15 minutes early. I wore an old dress that still had a stain on it. I sat at the table, staring at the menu without actually reading it. Then the door opened. I looked up and saw my ex-husband walking in. He had more of a smile on his face. He sat across from me like this was the most normal thing in the world. I just stared at him, my mouth open. "I know things ended badly between us," he said. "But the past is the past. I've had a lot of time to think. I couldn't speak. I could move." Then he pulled out a small velvet box. "I bought this for you." He stood up and got down on one knee right there in the restaurant. The entire place went silent. Everyone turned to look. Pawns came out to open the box. Inside was a ring. "Will you marry me?" Everyone was waiting for my answer. What you need to know about my ex-husband is that we had been married for 8 years. From the beginning, he wanted children more than anything. He talked about it constantly, how much he wanted to be a father. But I never wanted kids. I told him before we got married. He said he understood. He said we would figure it out. But he kept pushing year after year. Eventually, I convinced myself I would learn being a mother. He was so happy. We got pregnant. For a few months, everything seemed perfect. I started believing it would work. Then the doctors found something. Our son had spinal atrophy. They told us he probably wouldn't live past 4 years. That night, I sat my husband down. I told him I wanted to end the pregnancy. I couldn't do this. I never wanted a child. And I definitely couldn't watch my baby slowly die for 4 years. But my husband refused. He called me a murderer. He said he would leave me if I did it. Then he did something I will never forget. He held my highs and made me a promise. He swore he would handle everything. The medical equipment, the sleepless nights, the feeding tubes. "I'll take care of him. I promise. Just let him live." So I did. I carried our son to 9 months. I gave birth. We brought him home from the hospital. And we named him Sam. The nights were nightmare, machines beeping. Tubes connected to our tiny baby. Neither of us slept. I passed out from exhaustion at 9 in the morning. 4 hours later, I woke up, and at first I thought he was feeding Sam. But I heard nothing from Sam's room. Then I noticed his wallet was gone. His keys were gone. I looked out the window. His car wasn't in the driveway. I panicked. I grabbed my phone. He had blocked him. Then I opened his closet, empty. Everything he owned was gone. He left. I walked into Sam's room. He was sleeping, connected to 7 different machines. I cried for hours. One night, that was all it took for him to break every promise he ever made. I raved for 4 years, every feeding tube, every doctor appointment, every seizure, just me. And somewhere along the way, that little boy became my entire world. He was funny, he was brave, he laughed at everything. He called me mom until the day he died. 4 years old, exactly like the doctors predicted. I held him in my arms when he took his last breath. And now, his father was kneeling in front of me in a restaurant, wanting another chance. I looked at him, and all I could see was Sam's face. I looked around at everyone watching us, and some can say me broke. I just started sobbing, loud, uncontrollable sobs. My ex tried to grab my hand. I pulled away. "Don't touch me." His smile disappeared. "I hate you, I hate you." I was shaking, my voice breaking, and I didn't care. Heard, "You abandoned us. You left your son. One night you just disappeared." But I wouldn't let him. I raised him alone. Nah, and you show up 6 months later with a ring. The restaurant was completely silent. Everyone was staring until he died, didn't you? So you could come back and pretend none of this happened. His face went pale. He opened his mouth. Then Klaus needed to confirm it. A manager quickly walked over. Let me help you leave." They accorded both of us outside. A child at a nearby table pointed at my ex and said loudly, "That guy sounds like someone who deserves to get bullied." The child's mother didn't correct him. 2 days later, I was still in bed trying to process everything. Then I found out as someone had our town's Facebook page. Everyone tell it. My ex lost his job. His landlord refused to renew his lease. His car was spray painted. People threw eggs that I also went to it with my best friend. Turns out the only reason she introduced us because he paid off 8th father credit card debt. She sold me for $8,000.